And that there is a 30-second countdown. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. All I can think of when I hear that intro cue is how badly we have got to update that song. And I know we say this all the time, but also we missed our 9th birthday. And I think because
we did.
We did it because January's last Tuesday freethinkers we didn't get to have because we had frozen weather that week. So we didn't do our January in person. And I thought about this last month. I was like, we didn't have a birthday at all. Like, and it's already about to be March. So looking at that intro and it said, I think 7 years, I was like, okay, that's old. The song's old. We need a birthday cake next month. We got to have a birthday party for our birthday we did not have in January. But we have 9 years. It is our 9th. It is our 9th year, man. 9th freaking year of doing this. 9th year.
Well, the 9th don't count. We just stack up for the 10th, make the 10th one real big.
I mean, you know what? We gotta go. We gotta go to Denise. Like, we literally have to go to Denise for the 10th birthday. Like, we have to be there somehow between now and January. We gotta start putting our pennies away so we can hop on a plane and go celebrate New York style for our 10th birthday. That would be the dopest shit ever. I would love that. And it's crazy because it does not ever feel like it's been this many years to me.
Not at all.
Never.
No, not to me either.
No, it does not feel like it's been this many years.
Or, I mean, let's look at it this way. Does it feel like it's been what, 6 years since COVID hit?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. So we pulled the trigger and started going, online when COVID hit. So no, it does not feel like it's been 6 years either. Like,
right. Yes, I'm like, that's a big part. I think just a lot of that whole time was just a big blur. Like, what the hell happened? And then it's like, and then it was never officially over. It was just like, okay, well, we just
right. You can maybe stop and stuff.
Just 3-4 years later, we just kind of eased back into it, and they're like, oh, okay, I guess it's over.
Yeah, there was really no official end to it, right? Like they didn't ever call it as an end. It was just like, oh, okay, I guess it's not working anymore. They got what they wanted. They did what they needed to do. Like, business has to go back to normal.
I think I think by the maybe 6 to 8 months after the shots were out, then it's like, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get. You didn't take it, you didn't take it. If you did take it, then you did, and either way, you're just gonna get out there
one way or another.
At this point, we've done all we can do, and everybody, you either gonna survive or you're not. And life is money, got to keep moving.
If we really actually thoroughly revisited, like COVID afterthoughts. This, I know we talked about it a couple years ago.
Post-COVID. I said we did that on High IQ, like post-COVID.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because it was I had some thoughts about that. And it was funny because when I felt God was speaking to me about certain things that needed to happen. And a lot of those things were confirmed about what I was feeling, just as far as a lot of touch deprivation, people connected, people just kind of, it's almost like a PTSD that a lot of people were going through, but they didn't know that they were going through.
Yeah.
And even now, I think that there's a lot of PTSD that people are going through that they don't realize it.
You think things that started during COVID, from changes during COVID still?
Yeah, I think it just kind of our brains got wired a little weirder. And I don't think everybody fully recovered from that, but they don't know that it's like a lot of people have PTSD but don't know it.
Right. You don't know it. Something triggers it.
Right. But you do have an issue. Just because you don't know it don't mean that you don't have an issue. And I think even some of the stuff that I see in the streets where just a lot of the violence and people fighting and the lack of I think there is something where there's a lack of basic social communication and people don't know how to communicate feelings and emotions like they once did.
Yeah.
Even now to the point they handle it wrong when they don't know how to deal with those emotions. A lot of times it just turns into violence or it turns into a lot of different things, but it's not. And I think a lot of that had to do with COVID.
But could you attribute some of that, though, the relational aspect? Could you attribute that equally to just access to social media, right? Because we had social media first, right? I mean, social media came before COVID did, but social media was what we did during COVID, you know. And I think that what happened for relationships because of
think
COVID,
about that though. Think about and I know this for a fact. It wasn't just us like free, but just think about the type of conversations we were having during COVID. And it wasn't just us. It was a lot of different podcasts and different places. Like people were on edge and people like it was a different way that they tried to release an outlet, even to the point where people don't have the same like our conversations is not the same way that they were during COVID. I think a lot of people were going through some stuff and they didn't realize it.
Right. But that's because, again, we were all now sheltered and had to utilize social media, had to utilize this as the medium because we didn't have the ability to go to somebody's house or go to work or go to such and such, right? So it's almost like it was almost like a two-part effect, right? Because on one hand, social media had already changed our relationship styles before. And then COVID happened and it ripped everybody's daily up from never even going back into the workplace, right? And continuing to work remotely, you know, absolutely changing your day to day. And we're talking about, you know, how long has your professional routine been the same up until the day that they said, oh yeah, we're not coming back. You're going to stay home until we tell you to come back. I mean, just so many people's lives were changed from overnight staying home, being stuck behind a computer.
But again, then people, when we just ease back into it, we just assume that everything is back to normal. Everything ain't back to, even it may appear like it's back to normal, but you yourself and myself and our interaction in a way, it may not be the same. And you may not know it. It's almost like a person who grew up without a parent. Maybe they had a parent that died or abandoned them, you know, when they were early age before they even got to know them. They feel like they're regular. But then later on through life, then you realize there's a lot of holes missing that they missed out on.
What do you think are some of the greater challenges that you see still existing today for a majority of for the masses? What do you think is a greater issue for the masses today?
I think, and it's not just, I say communication, but I think it's a communication on a base level. Like, okay, I know you, I know Ivory, I know Denise, I know certain people. Yeah, I can talk to them and yeah, no problem. But just the regular interaction with someone that I really don't know, what does that look like? And I think that changes a lot. And I think how we interact with those who we don't have a close personal relationship is a lot different. Now there's what they call like a filial or brotherly love, or just a basic love for mankind without you having to know them. And I think there's a lot of gaps missing with that right now.
You know what I feel like I noticed today a lot of, and I don't know if you can attribute this to COVID. I don't know if you can attribute this to the relationship changing because of COVID and our styles changing. But it's not like people haven't always been mean or taken, advantage of opportunities, of ways to be a bully, right? Or to just try to be a jerk kind of person. But I noticed today heavily, and I don't know if it's just because there's so many people who are emotionally all over the place right now politically, but I noticed in a lot of the local Facebook groups, like, people around Rock, people of Georgetown, people of Hutto, a lot of the local ones, the people who seem to be confused about like where to go to vote, or just like the new law changes and I guess there's a lot of very fucking overwhelmed people today who got sent to the wrong place and didn't get in on time and all these things, right? And yes, of course you could have voted early, and yes, you could have done this, and yes, you should have read, and yes, all these things. But it was almost like I noticed a significant amount of people who like felt like they got off on belittling people who went to the wrong place, or like got off on, oh, well, I voted early, so you should have too. Or why did you? It was almost like they just got off on fucking being mean to people about voting today. And like
Well, that's the
shitting,
way of the world. People get
on
off
those
being mean about anything nowadays.
huh?
I said people get off with being mean with people about anything nowadays. We just live in a polarizing society, so I think we've been trained to.
Yeah, I think that's a part of the whole. I don't know if y'all remember this, like the whole petty era when being petty was celebrated on the internet. That basically like being a jerk was
That
being
was so weird
celebrated
to
on the
me.
internet.
Yeah.
And it was just like, who could be the pettiest, who could be the meanest, who could say something the most hurtful about someone else. And then it like that was.
I was going to say, though, don't you guys think this is just a mirror to how people actually just always kind of were?
No,
I mean,
there's degrees to it, but not to this degree. No. And not only that, there's always been a portion of people who operate like that. But when you go from a portion to what's expected, the go ahead.
I'm saying it because how many people do you speak to today or before social media, COVID, anything, who had no ability for self-reflection in themselves?
But
let me finish.
I get what you're saying.
And when
okay.
you don't have the ability to self-reflect, what you normally do is you deflect. It's always on to someone else. You have to give that energy that you should be giving to yourself to something, and it normally turns out on you dump on people. And I think people were already dealing with their own things by internally dumping on people or dumping on people with the people closest to them that would allow them to. And then COVID, the internet allowed them to publicly do what they were already privately doing in their minds and with their close people.
Okay, so you kind of saying what I was saying a little bit to a certain degree, when those type of people who you were talking about were formerly in the minority to some degree. But now when the tables turn and it becomes the majority and that's what's celebrated, then that mindset becomes reinforced, it becomes accepted. Like, think about how many people, what's one of the most accepted phrases or modes of thought is kind of that do what serves you mentality, and anything that doesn't serve you, then it has to get out of your circle, it has to get out of your way, it can't be a part of your life and can't be a part of your future. So anything that I'm not feeling, then you have no place in my aura.
Protecting your
that is a mainstream accepted mode of thought now, to where we don't even think anything's wrong with it. Oh yeah, I gotta right. I protect my space, it's not what you're saying is wrong, but where is the love for the brother and sister? Where is the perseverance? Where is the working through relationships, working through conflict? All of those things that we were taught once upon a time and that we were encouraged to do in a balance. Now you don't hear that type of conversation anymore, especially not through social media. It's just, I'm gonna be deleting all these people who don't serve me in 2026. Boom. 2026, I'm deleting. That's what you hear.
Yeah, that do happen. That social media does allow that to take place. That's for sure.
And those phrases and those memes and those statements get reinforced by a whole bunch of likes. Yeah, girl, you got to do you this, and nobody stops and says, okay, well, make sure you're operating in balance. Make sure you really give relationships a fair shot before you dismiss them. No, that's never going to be a part of any conversation or reply.
No, that's not true.
Make sure that it's not you before you dismiss people. Make sure that you do your self work and your self reflection before you just get rid of everybody else.
Yes.
I don't hear people replying about that.
No, I think that those are real life conversations that take place, you know. But it's easy for people to jump on that bullshit bandwagon, though. That like you said, Ivory, lack of reflection, right? So you know, it's the people who go on social media and they do the proclamations, right? Like they're the me this and the I this and the this is who I am and this is, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, whatever, right? But like the people that just I don't know. It's like the, who are you trying to convince, right? Who are you trying to convince? Because those that know already know. You don't have to tell people.
I never respond to those people. You'll never see me.
I don't either.
You don't even get a thumbs up from me. You don't get a heart, a thumbs up.
Yeah, no,
okay,
I'm not.
No, nothing.
I agree. No, it's just I don't know. I felt like today I saw that a lot. I didn't see neighbors coming together as neighbor, right? I saw neighbors coming together as jerk. I didn't see neighbors being neighborly, and you know, you think at certain times, issues, areas, right, where your community is supposed to kind of put some shit to the side and come together like for the greater good. And that just didn't happen today. I was like, this was an interesting day of voting here locally, of just how people responded to the day. Not neighborly, not friendly, not nice, not helpful, not kind at all.
But again, too, that comes from the top down.
Yeah.
You had a leader of this country who specializes in divisiveness, then
that's very true.
Those who are weak-minded, which I would say is the majority, at least I would say a minimum of 70% of our country, then they can easily be influenced.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Okay. Yeah, that's get that part out, or anybody add on to it? I mean, we can keep going on that. I'm fine.
No, let's jump into lust. Let's go with the lust.
Okay, question. My first question. I know Denise she might grab the wheel too, because this is your topic, Denise. But
is it? I'm not prepared.
You said what?
I said, is it? Because I'm not prepared.
Oh, okay, no, that's you. Well, you know, I stay prepared.
But you know, I can get prepared quick. But go ahead, Q.
Even when I take a complete backseat, then I always, I got material. So,
but what's your question, Q?
Anybody who has not looked up the definition first, Ivory knows this. Well, Nikki do too. I like to hear a person's definition, their personal definition, absent of Wikipedia or some dictionary definition.
Okay, I haven't looked it up.
Okay, what's your definition of lust?
Oh,
I would say lust is probably an unhealthy wanting of
Hmm.
something or someone.
Does it have to be unhealthy though? That's a big red word. That's a
That was
big.
my thought. That was my thought too.
I will say yes.
Really? Okay.
When only because when have you ever used or heard the term lust used in a way that was in any way good? You ain't like, oh, I'm lusting after this lasagna, y'all. I cannot wait. Like no one.
See, to me, I think it's how you use the word lust, because I've been playing with this all day today, this word, and
Did you look up the definition already, Nikki? You usually do.
Way early this morning, just because that's the first thing I do is read definitions.
Okay, hold on. Pause just for a second, Nikki.
Okay.
Hold that thought for a second. Ivory, have you looked up the definition yet?
I did not.
Okay, give me your personal definition
I have
of how you
one kind of like in my head that is my, my thing about lust. So I always just think about it as a kind of an overwhelming urge to have something. Like a all-consuming need or urge to possess or have something.
Ooh. All-consuming.
Okay, what is that?
Hold on, let me see. What did I say? Ah, dang it. I just had it. Okay, let me pull it back. I got it. Selfish desire, doesn't care about the other person or one's own well-being. It just wants what it wants. That was my personal. That was my definition.
That's your personal definition?
Yeah. A selfish desire.
A selfish desire.
Mm-hmm.
I think
doesn't care about another person or one's own well-being. So even like that.
Okay.
So even, and then you jump in, even like the lasagna you talked about. I don't care if it's bad for my health. I want what I want.
You want to take that lasagna down. Yeah.
I want to take that lasagna down. So it's just, it doesn't have anything to do with another person, or it's a selfish desire. And I want it because I want it regardless of consequences or who it may affect, even if it's myself. That's my, that was mine. Okay. Hold on. I gotta let Nikki jump. Okay, Nikki, where you at now?
Out of it, it don't, most of the time it's bad, but it don't always have to be bad.
That was one of my questions. All right, we halfway through some of my questions now.
I don't believe it, but we're gonna get there, Nikki.
That was literally one of my questions. Is lust bad? And then the second follow-up to it, is it always bad? But go ahead.
I don't have, okay. I mean, and obviously we know lust can be, there can certainly be some negative, consequential, energy surrounding the word and the action of lust. But to me, when I first heard the word lust, I didn't go to the automatic, like, negative space. Just like how we had an interesting difference of opinions with desire too a couple weeks ago. So lust literally just says very strong sexual desire, similar to lustfulness, adore, desire, passion, libido, sex drive, a passionate desire for something. That's it. Passionate desire for something. So where we go with that is going to be how we put the onus on that lust. Because lust doesn't have to be negative, right?
So my answer to that is, okay, so let's go back around. So I think I hear Nikki saying lust doesn't always necessarily have to be bad. Denise, is lust bad? And if so, is it always bad?
Lust is neutral. The actions of your lust are...
That's the first riding the fence answer I've ever heard that I like.
You can I've done many of lusting for many of things and people, but I have not acted on these things because they're wrong. So that's that. But if we go back to the Bible, that's why it's like if a man commit lust in his heart is because usually you commit that lust in your heart, you start thinking on it. And as a man thinking, so is he. And the next thing you know, you participate in some stuff that you weren't trying to participate in. So I just strongly try to stay away from even the thought of lust because I'm like, oh, this is gonna go somewhere. No, reel that thought in. No. No, get thee behind me, Satan. I had to exit my way out of a situation just this Friday. I was like, what? Hey, no, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
No to that.
I was at a spot, y'all. I was at my friend's show. That it was so lit. It's called, his band is called Afro Dominicana, something like that. And so basically it's a Dominican band. And it was lit. And then it come to find out it was Dominican Independence Day. It was lit. I've never been to a Dominican function. So I was there. The Dominicans, they like to dance. And I was dancing, dude. And I guess I was trying to do the bachata. I don't know. And all I know is he told me to look him in his eyes. And I did. And then I said, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Looks down. Look at the floor. Watch his feet. Just watch his feet. And then get out of this.
No, absolutely not.
Look in your eyes? No. Sorry. I'm just telling y'all.
No. Those are good examples. Ivory. Is lust bad? And if so, is it always bad?
I would say I don't want to agree completely with Denise, but
It's like neutral.
I think lust within the boundaries of responsibility does not always have to be bad.
Right.
Well, what I mean by that is,
do you have an example?
yeah, like I'm married. If I decide I want my husband so bad that I'm gonna blow my whole morning, nothing, the world didn't fall apart because I had a super strong desire to have him so much
And
faded away. Nothing. That's because that's within.
It ain't got to be about me loving your conversation or your intellect or your. No, I want to jump your bones.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, not
right.
Not,
oh, it's like, okay.
Let's know. Like, I want you real bad right now. I don't care what else is happening. Them kids can feed themselves for an hour. It happens, and that's okay because it's within a boundary of responsibilities.
So,
I've
heard some high and mighty people say that's not lust, that's love.
I the only reason I say I don't agree with that, and that's just normally saved and religious people. They've been taught to like see certain things as nasty or whatever, so they got to put a flower on everything. Everything don't need some flowery picture. I'm a responsible relationship, which means that it don't always got to be about love. It don't always got to be about. It could be whatever we want it to be about. And if I just want some, it could be about that. If you just want some, it could be about that. Now I say 60%. Let's make sure it's about love. You know, like it's a pie chart. You know, let's make sure it's all about mutual happiness and love. But it's some other things on that pie chart that ain't about none of that.
Right.
It's good, and I would like to have one. How about one now? That's not deep.
That's true.
Just be too safe. They can't just say it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Orgasms feel good. It's nice to have one sometime, even if I'm not deeply in love right now. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's true.
Ooh, golly. Oh man. All right. Dang. All right. This
in the confines of responsibility. I like that.
Responsibility.
So I do.
Okay,
I don't understand why.
I got a question, but go ahead, Nikki. I still got this question, but go ahead.
So, yeah, so don't forget your question, but I'm so like as I'm looking into obviously more of the definition of lust, I can see why maybe y'all's first response kind of have the negative connotation to it, because it definitely has a huge section about lust in religion, right? And you know,
It's always
lust,
been taught to be a bad word. In
absolutely,
religion.
like it's
Right.
literally like just not good. And that's so interesting, right? Because that's not the first place I went. I didn't go there with the word lust feeling like it's got some taboo to it. Can it be taboo? Absolutely. And there goes the action, the responsibility to lust. I think lust can be a beautiful fucking thing if used properly. I think it is a powerful energy between two people if used powerfully and energy and properly.
Ooh, I got a question. I'm gonna say
But we also see
Okay.
how lust can be the gateway drug, shit, realistically, to all things toxic and tragic and traumatic, you know, when it's all said and done.
But that's the same thing. Ain't that the same thing you can say about anything? Like one of the first things we think about when we talk about lust, I was thinking about the internet. And what I mean by that is, go back to what Denise said, it's neutral. It's how you use it, it's how you allow it to be, you know, be either a tool for you or it could be a handicap. And some people use the internet and they make millions of dollars off of it, and other people use the internet and they rot their brains away. It's the same internet, but the question is how you use it. Okay, so with that, let me have a quick question. Denise, hold on to yours. So we're talking about lust, we're talking about sex. Is masturbation wrong?
Hell no, it's right. About time it's right. Take it right up.
Right?
Yo, you know, masturbation could save you from yourself.
Now listen.
I don't know what type of bullshit I'm on today, but
I have to agree with that.
masturbation will save you from yourself. Masturbation will also save your relationship. Like
That is
masturbation
true.
can
I have to
save
agree.
you in many a ways. Masturbation can help you go to sleep at night. Like
These are all
masturbation,
true things. I agree with all of these.
you know, you got insomnia, masturbate. You want to cheat, masturbate. You feel like going having sex with somebody you probably shouldn't be having sex with, masturbate. Like it's.
I'm waiting for you to say something wrong, Denise. I ain't heard one thing you said wrong yet. You batting 1,000 right now. I don't disagree with nothing.
Now, on the other hand, what you masturbate to is where we get into some tricky territory.
What? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Say that again.
What we masturbate to.
What you're saying with that, but I'm listening. Yes.
Oh,
What you masturbate to is get a little tricky.
Denise, I mean, Nikki, I don't know if you remember, we had this conversation when we did Black Tea Talk Live for a second. And I don't even know how it came up, but I was like, I said, when a person is masturbating in a relationship, they should think they should be masturbating to the thought of their partner at least a percentage of the time.
You did say that. I never forgot that. Show did.
If they don't, then that's Ivory. What do you? I see a look on your face, Ivory. What do you?
Oh no! That's
okay.
Exactly my point. To me, if there's a couple reasons. I'm gonna make this short, but first off, if you're going to masturbate and you're outside of a relationship, you definitely still need to have some parameters around that. Porn is very addictive. Even the act of masturbation can be really addictive, where when you even get a partner, it can be harder for that partner to please you if you overstimulated yourself in that way. It's just still like a lot of things you need to think about. But definitely when you're married, I think you should only be masturbating to thoughts of your partner. I don't think there's anything wrong with masturbating, but I do think it shouldn't be masturbating to other people having sex, or definitely not the thought of somebody else having sex with you. That's horrible. But even
Is it?
other
You walking that line because next thing you know, you thinking about it,
Of
and
course, it's walking the line. That's why you doing it.
now you're picturing it. Now, if you know the person and you see them,
Oh, you don't play with stuff.
That's a game changer. Now you entertaining different levels of intimacy.
In spirits. Let's just be honest. No, I'm just
Yeah.
hey, we on to something.
You messing around and stuff. No, don't do that. But that's
Do you think it's realistic that a person will only masturbate to the thought of their partner?
I think that we are capable of all types of disciplines that we don't employ because we don't try. Let me be honest. And
I agree 100%.
I'm saying that out of personal, like just me personally, that's a line that I have around myself. And what happens is it makes my actual sex life better.
Right.
Because I centered my whole sexual existence around this person, my
That's good,
and my reality.
That's good.
It's just better. And yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I agree that I'm sure it is.
But there have to obviously be variables, right? I don't think this really can fairly be a one-size-fits-all conversation because there are exceptions to the rules, right? I think each person, how each person drives their lust and their desire is certainly to each their own. Me personally, like when I'm locked in, I'm not I don't see other men. So like people, oh, who's your celebrity crush? I don't really have a celebrity crush. Like there's not like some gorgeous man I go to in my mind, right? When I need a couple minutes of some me time. Like if it's not a man I'm actively with, I'm probably digging in my fucking past for a man I'd been with, right? In my mind, if I don't have this current visual person I'm going to be using as reference. Like, but I think that all people have different sexual appetites. Some people like the aspect of a different partner or, different, whatever the case may be. But I'm with you, Ivory. Like there isn't even a part of me that looks at another man, if I have one in my life, as somebody that would, arouse me or just be somebody I would want in that space. Like, absolutely not. But that's just me.
I gotta chime in on that. There are dangers to beating off to your ex.
Sure.
That is it's like you ain't releasing the soul tie. I'm under the impression that you can reach back through masturbation and reconnect the soul tie. And I believe it makes it harder to move forward in new relationships or ideas of new relationship because they're kind of like still lingering in your life intimately, even if they're not actually there. I know this from experience.
I think that very much for the right person, I think that can definitely happen. But I do think that also depends on how you have compartmentalized different people and relationships and scenarios. And, is it a lust factor or is it a love factor, right?
I don't think it matters.
Right.
I think it does.
I think everything, I use that same scenario to say that ideally there are certain things that you don't want to do. I believe balance is the real key to it. You want to make sure, even with everything that you do, including masturbation, you want to make sure that you have your mind, body, and soul in check, and you give it parameters. Even like porn, some people will question porn. There's certain porn that you probably shouldn't watch. You're gonna zap out all your dopamines to the point to where it just having said. And I've talked to people, they done rose themselves to death, that little pink rose, and now they like, I can't get stimulated by other means. You didn't zap yourself to, can
I chime in on that?
Out of it.
I will say this: anybody watching at home, if you have toys, I'm going to strongly suggest that you don't use them. I'm going to strongly suggest that you just use the good hands that the Lord gave you, because I've had a bullet before, the silver bullet. You guys know that it was popping back in like 2012, 2011, the little bullet like that. Yeah, you guys know about it. It had the turbo speed and all that. You guys know about it. What I'm saying to you is this. You can desensitize your parts because this is, first of all, ain't no man or woman operating on the speeds of the bullets. Let's be clear. So you don't want to do that because it's literally your body is going to start to desensitize to the normal touch. I had to leave it alone. It will come back, but you got to put the rose down. You got to put the toys down. Put them down, move them aside. So that when you actually have a partner, you can really be with that partner. Furthermore, while we're here, I'm under the impression that, like, you know what, masturbation maybe can be bad, because if you can get your orgasm,
make you a lazy lover
from yourself, not even just a lazy lover, you might not even really be interested in a lover, because you're like, I'm gonna just get me real quick, I'm good. Like, you don't even have to go the extent to get to know someone, to get to like someone, to get to fall in love with someone, because you're like getting certain needs met.
Right. Well, let me add on to that though. When I'm talking about lazy lover, because one of the masturbation will make you lazy because the primary enjoyment of masturbation is just the end goal, which is busting a nut, having an orgasm. And if all you doing is, look, I need to knock me one out real quick. You training yourself to be a 2-minute man. You training yourself to be like there's a lot of things that you train, and not just that. Now
that's a good point.
The things that's supposed to slowly rise you up to a climax, touching, kissing, rubbing. Now that stuff feel. Have you ever just rubbed your partner up and down for 10 or 15 minutes and just let them feel your hands on their body and vice versa? There's so many slow, sensual things that you can do to build up, but now you've just trained yourself to, I just need to bust a nut. And now also these are the same people also. They start losing desire, like, for different positions. I know the way that's gonna get me off the quickest, so let's go to this position and we knock it out and then we done. Like, it's everything. You're taking away the opportunity of the full experience because you just focused on the end goal, and the journey is not as important to you anymore.
Yep. Damn, that's good. That can happen.
And then on the men's side, because you talking about them toys, even with me, because I had to and if you do your research, if you are one of those people, there's ways that you can rewire your brain and so forth like that. Because I got to a place when I was probably mid-late 20s, to where I zapped myself out. I thought something was wrong with me, and basically it was porn related ED. Watching too much porn, doing too much dopamine, zap me out, all of that stuff like that. But there's different things that you can do to regain it. And you need to, like I said, you need to watch the type of porn that you, be careful of the type. It's balanced just with everything. Like I said, on the internet, are you looking at stuff that's positive? Are you doing things positive? Are you building businesses, or are you just wasting time? They can go either way, and that goes for everything. But one of the things I was saying about even that, like, men, make sure you don't always need your hand or somebody else's hand or some type of visual where you watching some type of porn or you on Instagram, like, to get you stimulated. Sometimes without practice on getting a natural erection, without touching anything, without seeing anything, just close your eyes and have thoughts without touching anything, and let your body kind of bring you back to that place. Now, if you can do it without touching or thinking or having some type of visual stimulation, then that means it's coming back to you.
So those are some of the things that you did. You're like, I'm not going to look at porn anymore. I'm not going to even touch myself for a while and just let it, like, how did you even realize that that's what it was?
Because I wasn't getting up like I used to no more. You not getting up and you not staying up. And you need, first of all, you do have to start weaning yourself off of it. So maybe you have to just do a hard reset pause. And then 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you just slowly allow the sensation on its own to come back to you. Maybe you get rid of porn and you just use your brain in your hand. Then get rid of your hand and then just allow yourself to naturally be stimulated without anything. Then if you want to return to porn, because I still watch porn, I ain't gonna lie, but I am very I'm very particular about what I watch. I don't need to see everybody busting it wide open. I don't even watch a whole lot of explicit stuff. I can watch certain stuff, but I can watch something that take me to a certain place, but my mind has to fill in the gaps. Like it ain't like just everything right in front of your face. Because when you get to that place, then that type of thing is the only thing that'll keep you aroused, and then you gotta watch more and raunchier and more explicit just to get that same dope. It's really like alcohol. Like if you ever drink alcohol or something like that, if you keep drinking it, then you got to drink. You know, I used to get tipsy with a shot or two. Now I need 4 or 5 shots just to get that same buzz. Now I'm drinking 3 mixed drinks of beer and 5 shots just to get the same. But now you got to keep doing more and more and more.
Yep.
And the truth is, if you reset yourself, get off alcohol for 30 days. Them 2 shots will feel like something again. But if you constantly just feeding yourself for more and more, it's gonna take more and more. And now that's when you get to the stage where you're starting to do damage to your body. You're damaging your organs and your livers because you're doing all this stuff that you need just to feel the same high that, you know. It's all relative.
That's good.
Nothing hotter than being able to talk to your man and he get hard without you having to touch him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's, you know, like what's hotter than that? So I'm just saying, if you can't do that, I could see that being a problem.
That's why I say them Christian people is a gosh darn lie. Because boy, I tell you, if I don't lust after my wife, she just walk through there, I'll be like,
That's exactly how it is. But Denise, I was gonna say this too, because I told one of my friends this because she had never, like, I don't do toys at all, but she because of the stuff I done read and stuff, like I just no, like we're gonna have to figure it out the old-fashioned way. But she was asking me like, what should she do because she was in a little drought, and I said, don't do it. I said, don't do it. You don't want to like desensitize yourself in that way. Like I just wouldn't do it. Like I know people do it, but I wouldn't do it. Second thing I was gonna say, you were talking about on the men's side, women, we're so in our head too that to me, if it's just too much going on up there, because I didn't put too much going on, it can be hard to just be in the moment with your partner if you have flooded your mind with too many different types of sexual images.
Ooh, that's good.
This image needs to
it's true for men too.
And so flooding your mind with all of these different things, and you really need to like lock in.
Right.
I just learned from me, I can't do it. Like I can't watch it at all. Like I need to be locked in. And I think everybody's different, but the way my mind worked, it's consuming. So I can't do it at all. Like I need to be locked in. So just
that makes sense. Yeah.
The other point of that, if you have consumed a lot of porn or ever been addicted to porn or anything like that, it can literally take years to retrain your mind. I just want to put that out there because maybe somebody's like, it's been months, it's still a struggle, or I'm still having a hard time locking in. Like I just go on the journey. It can take years sometimes to retrain yourself.
And then let me add this in too. Me and Ivy had this conversation before. Don't get into a relationship because they nice and they good hearted and you better be attracted to them.
Right.
You need to be attracted to your partner.
Yep.
You putting yourself in a bad space if you're not attracted to your partner.
Yeah.
Because if the thought or the touch or the interaction of your partner don't get you there, then you put yourself in position to where you want to put a different thought in your head, or the thought of a different person, or imagine that you with somebody else. You don't have to do that when you're attracted to the person that's in front of you.
Facts.
But when you in the spot and you man or a woman, and you over here trying to think about, you trying to pull a Rolodex of images in your head to keep you in a space of arousal, and you got your eyes closed because you trying to think about something that's going to keep you going, and you thinking about everything except for that person, then that becomes transactional as well. Anyway, we weren't supposed to stay on this that long, but it was good.
I got a question.
Sure.
Hugh, you do sales, right?
Yes.
How much marketing do you notice there's some sort of like lust factor in marketing? What would you say the percentage is, like in general, whether it be commercials or whatever, where you're like, or ads where you're like, this is lusty?
Almost at least 90%. Minimum.
And anybody can answer this question. I'm sure Ivory probably knows the answer. What is it about buying things and like, and okay, let me clarify this before I ask this question. Is the lust typically like a sexual lust? And these
It depends
ads,
on what they're trying to sell you. So not one sexual lust that always is in play. And that's funny because people can be, it's so funny to me. And some people, I don't know how some people don't notice it, but you know, they could be selling dog food, but they're going to put the prettiest, girl out there in front of there trying to sell this dog food. If you ever see clothing stores at the mall, then they'll have the prettiest girl standing outside there. I'm like, look, they're trying, because they know a man automatically, whether he thought he wanted something or not, just seeing this person that's attractive, number one, they're going to be able to get them to stop. They'll be able to get them to walk into the store and say something like the sex is used just on so many different levels or attraction. The other thing that's used is the need to belong. So they feed you this image that if you want to be a part of the in crowd, if you want to be liked or loved or accepted by people or a different level of society that you're trying to reach up to, then this is how you do it. So the sex and the need to belong are the two biggest things, whether they're selling you cars, clothes, an experience, a vacation, whatever it is. Those are the two main things.
because I asked that question too, because they'll also do that with food. They'll be like 2 juicy patties, and you're like, whoa, like what are we doing right now? And so it's just interesting that like whatever is triggering the arousal also somehow is triggering the need to buy. Is what it.
Think about news. They try to find an attractive man and woman to do the daily news. We need one of the people on he used to be a soap opera. The guy who does Spectrum News in Texas. He was, and I didn't even know he was a soap opera star. I just need to get you to stay on this channel. You might not be interested in the news, but you're gonna stay on this channel like, she cute.
I have another question. Oh, go ahead.
Sex always sells, though.
Yeah. Lust sells. Question. What are some ways, conventional, we'll go conventional first, some conventional ways, and then next would be maybe some unconventional ways that you have used lust in your life? Hence, we're into the belief that it can be good. So I want to hear it. What are some conventional or unconventional ways you've used lust?
I mean, conventional and unconventional ways to use lust would be a
That you.
Well, like you're saying, you make other people lust after you.
Maybe, I don't know. She's posting that damn carrot cake again. And I'm like, I gotta get to that carrot cake. What I'm saying is, like, what are some ways? Like, even free thinkers.
She spray a little something on there and make it look real.
Right, and get a little extra. Y'all be talking about the food at the spot y'all be doing free thinkers at. Y'all always bring the food up, and every time I'm like, I want to be there. So just like, I'm just thinking, like, what are ways that you all have noticed that you use lust in your life, whether it be a conventional or non-conventional way you use lust in your life?
I mean, I think that that's definitely a part of networking. It can be a part of promotion. It can be a part of, you know, I mean, just how you network, how you promote, how you sell to other people, right? Like how you put the fish on the line and drop it in the water and dangle it a little bit. You know, I think that there's a certain amount of flirtatious energy, maybe, right? That definitely is in certain spaces. But I also think that you have to know how to do it.
Right.
You have to know the boundaries. Like, you really have to be very conscientious if you're going to play with that energy, because you have to be responsible to it. You have to be responsible for it. And you got to know that there may be some shit coming your direction that you might not be prepared for if you don't go into this with the right person. Right. So like, I'm always very mindful, very, like I say all the time, I am not flirtatious. I am friendly. There's a big fucking difference. I am not flirting with you. I am just being nice, right? Because I know how to flirt and I know when to turn that on. And when I turn that on, I'm looking for a specific response. If I'm not looking from you, I will not turn that the fuck on, right? But if I definitely am looking for it, I am for sure turning it the fuck on. So I think that you
never turned it on for a sale? You never turned it on for a sale? Where you like lightly tapped on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know exactly how to push the fucking envelope where and when I need to. And I know how to stay away from it. I know how to not go in the red, like, no, and I know how to push it. So, but I think that that's something that you become comfortable in your own lust, right? You become comfortable in your own energy. You become comfortable in your prowess. You become comfortable in your power, right? And once you know it, once you know it, you know how to use it. You know how to not use it. And with that comes a huge responsibility to using it and to not using it. How to use discernment, right? I think discernment is as important as not having it. You know, so there's sometimes in lustful situations where lust is, discernment's out the window and it's fantastic. And then there's sometimes discernment is absolutely the window and it's equally fantastic, but you have to know how to use it. Otherwise you will get yourself in trouble. You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Q, Ivory?
I can give you a couple. I'll give you a couple of them. Well, and it's not even making it, it's when you see you got somebody on the hook, then you just know how to turn the dial up a little bit. That's all. Like if you see you got them on the hook, then you can lean into it. So one of the things, if I know I got somebody on the hook, one of the simple things is eye contact, and it's a certain type of eye contact that you use. That it can
that lusty eye contact.
One of the things is talents. So for people who know how to sing, that does, like for me, I was I'm telling the drummers, get the women. I used to play drums. Oh man, I knew what I was doing too. And then it's the way that you can go about doing it, it just make you more attractive. Certain simple things like I'm a boxer. People see you hitting that bag like, oh, okay. Okay, he can fight. He's a protector. Oh, like okay,
interesting. Okay,
listen, I'm gonna tell you the best one. Then I really jump. Yeah. And this is the one when you got somebody on the hook, and then you know how to turn the dial up. Especially this for on the outside when somebody think you fine and you just want to turn up that lust level. Silence. Just shut up. I already see you got a fantasy about me in your head. And all I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna sit there and be who I am and let you continue to build up that fantasy in your head or whatever you thinking about me. All I could do is mess it up from here. Talking, getting philosophical, running my mouth, maybe my voice inflection don't sound the way you thought it was. I'd be like, very short words, couple don't say much of nothing. Like, So those are different ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Arby's faded to black. I definitely do. I be feeling some way about doing that shit though. Like, not all the time, but sometimes. Because I be like, not all the time. Sometimes I just like to do it, but like I don't, because I'm like, damn, like do I gotta be lusty to get the, you know what I'm saying, to get y'all to click the link in my bio? Like, what are we doing, dog? Like, it frustrates me. I'm like, I don't want to be sexy right now. I just want you to listen to the song. Like, and some songs call for that because it's a sexy song or whatever. But sometimes I find myself getting frustrated with that because I know, like, from a talent perspective, I feel like the music is way better than the lust itself. So it like bothers me sometimes with that. But then I also like kind of I like walking into a room and creating a little bit of a lust, if you will. Not nothing crazy, just a little. You know, like your whole demeanor can change. You've got some heels on, how you strut in the room, how you sit down and become very poised and, like Q said, quiet, reserved, and like just like creating like this energy. But I kind of hate lust sometimes because sometimes it feels like I'm like manipulating in a way. Like it almost feels like some sort of like manipulation.
You absolutely are.
And I don't, and it's just like, ugh, do we have to do this? But then it's like, well, is this the world I'm in? So I kind of like if I'm competing with somebody popping that booty on one post, somebody got this out on the other post, somebody making cheeseburgers and stuff on another post, like, how do I stop the person from scrolling? You know what I mean? Like, it just frustrates me. It frustrates me because sometimes I just don't want to do that, but I almost feel like forced to do it. But then it's also like, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So it's just like, am I being lazy? So yeah, it's kind of, I have a complicated relationship with how I use lust. Ivory.
Bite the bottom lip. Like, so you over biting that bottom lip like you don't want to say nothing.
No, I was actually thinking I don't. And not that I never have. I mean, I think maybe when I was younger, okay, I could think of one instance where I felt like my then boyfriend, now husband, was kind of playing me. And I knew we was finna be at the club to, like, he was coming with some people and I was coming with some people. And yeah, I was like, I'm finna flex. Like, I'm finna remind them. It's kind of to remind what it is. And I'm gonna remind you with these other people's eyes. So yes, I mean, I definitely.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Reminding him with other people's eyes is always top tier.
Yeah.
You see your girl? You see your girl over there? Damn!
And he came to me later. He was like, I get it. You better get it. I'm keeping it real calm. I don't be putting no pressure on these people out here, but I mean, pressure. Anyway. But I really try now to just be interesting and like I really like ask myself, are you just being like engaging and interesting, or are you doing some weird little thing? And if it's a weird thing, I try to lock that back down. Like,
Yeah.
just be yourself and be interesting. Like, that's what I'm always just trying to go for. Like, be myself, be
I
my,
like that.
you know.
So okay, so
That's
now
good. That's
as
good.
we
That
are,
attracts different people.
Yeah.
So I think we got all the we on the sexual lust part for a while. So to get off of that, or to move further into the conversation, what do you feel? In your opinion, what would you say is the most hidden, underrated lust? Like, and I'm not saying something that you exhibit personally, but what is a lust that society really craves? I mean, outside of the sexual or the obvious things, what's a lust that's really underrated that goes under the radar?
Power.
Food. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, food. You're right about that.
Power is
'Cause
good.
Power. I would say power.
I think food more than power. I think a lot of people crave power, or but power can be limited sometimes, because some people just want power over their own life, and they just
listen.
they just don't want. They tired of everybody else having power over them. But if you think about,
people who
especially in
lusting
America,
after food is normally not lusting after power, and the people not lusting after food is normally lusting after power.
But you know what's crazy? Because with most of the food we lust after, we don't need it. It's just out of pure want, and we like the way that it sits on our taste bud when we eat it, or we like the way that we get the itis after. Like, there's nothing about it that we really need. We just want it.
Yeah. And what's crazy about because okay, I noticed this whenever I had gained a lot of weight too. I remember there was an era where all I was seeing was food. Everybody was cooking on the internet. It was always some like double fried cheeseburger topped with double fried ice cream, topped with queso, topped with double fried grease. Like, it was just, I was like, yo, I'm like, and I would just be hungry all the time, right? And then I just thought it was really, not to go, black tea talks on this. I just thought it was really convenient that they were pushing food down our throats for a long time, and then they came out with the shot. Whatever. All I'm saying is this. So many things in this, and I feel like in this country, are based upon our relationship with food. Most health conditions are because of a person's relationship with food. Most of the things that people have in their health, it could be fixed with their diet. And I think that food is such a lusty thing in this country, because it makes people so much money for us to eat whatever.
And you know what and the crazy thing about it is, it gets selfish again, but it's not any of those things you can see. You could have it in portion or once in a while, but the lust makes you want to have that type of unhealthy thing every day, 5 times a day.
Right.
And it literally will destroy you if you allow it. It's like, okay, you see something, why don't you give yourself a cheat day once a week where you do that? But you ain't got to do it every day.
That sugar addiction, because once you open up that bag, once you open that sugar bag, because I put sugar down for a little minute. Oh, it's crack. Once you open it up, you better off just not eating sugar, period. Because once you do,
people, I went completely, January 23. So it's been 3 years now. I went on a straight no sugar at all. No sugar, or it was no sugar, no carbs, and no what's the word I'm looking for? No enjoyable foods. Anything that I liked, I wouldn't eat it.
Anything good. If you liked it, you didn't eat it.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember I said I have a different appreciation for drug addicts now. Like the way you just if you knew the stuff my mind was telling me, and I was trying to rationalize with my mind, well, you know, we can just do it on the weekend. Well, this ain't even actually fried. You can do this. Well, you can do this. Well, how come? Like, well, who even made this up? Why are you even making yourself follow this, Q? This is dumb.
Your mind will tell you you're starving when your eyes can look down at yourself and see.
My mind
will start saying, "Why are you starving us?"
Ivory, I had to literally argue with myself because my mind was telling me, "Why are you starving yourself to death?" And I had to argue. I'm like, I didn't put myself on a food restriction. I mean, like I could eat I could eat as much as I wanted to. It just wasn't these foods that I wanted to eat. But my mind was telling me that I was starving myself. It's like, no, you just don't want to eat this kale over here. And you don't want to eat this hummus.
Right.
And you don't want to eat this. You just don't want to eat the foods that you've allowed yourself to eat. But you're not starving. If you starving yourself, it's just because you choosing not to eat it. But it's crazy. Your mind will start telling you some crazy stuff.
I think that's the crazy thing about like the lust, though. Like this, just like overwhelming desire. Like you just have to have something. I think that's why, like Denise said, it's normally such a negative thing because, like, what won't you do to get it? Like, is it easy to give into it and then have parameters? And normally, it's just not.
Right. Telling yourself you need this woman or this man, like you getting sex, you got a spouse, you are getting sex. It ain't like you ain't getting. You don't have to have that.
Have to have that, you know.
But your mind will tell you that you do.
Right. It's never broccoli or something like that. It's never like, yo, I cannot wait to get home and eat that broccoli. It's never that.
You smother it in some
right.
cheese,
Now we throw some cheese on there, so this and that. Oh, now we really waiting for it. But yes, I would definitely say food. But I wanna chew on the power thing for a little bit.
So this
I
is
think
forget, and I'm not even thinking like high level power, right? I'm just like the desire to be able to control somebody, life. Whether that's your spouse or a friend group or whatever, some people just really lust over having some level of power over somebody. I mean, think of how you see people sometimes even treat their children, and you're like, dang, like power is that important to you that you gotta talk to that baby like that? You know, like, I mean, it's just, I just think sometimes people lust for some level of control or power.
Do you feel like a large portion of those people you're talking to, they don't have control over themselves, so they look to have power over something since they don't even have power? Because I think the people
or they didn't, or somebody exerted an unhealthy amount of power over them and they've never found
so you don't feel like you have control over yourself. That's my point. You don't feel like you have control over yourself, or not just physical control, mental control. Like, okay, now I'm an adult, but this person's opinion still reigns over my everyday actions and thoughts, and I'm still worried about what they're going to think if I do this. And you still don't have power even over your own choices.
Maybe.
Yeah, because there's a thing. I was in my girl group chat talking about this today about some of our reactions to things are our childlike selves reacting in our adult bodies. And you're right, Q. It's like someone did something to me in junior high, and now when people say a certain thing to me a certain kind of way, now my reaction is this because I need to get the power back for that girl who was in junior high. You know, so I do think it's like a lot of it is this kind of unhealed trauma that makes people want power. Because really, when you think about power in its true form and what it really means, it's a lot of responsibility, and it ain't fun a lot of times. Like, yeah, you might get a little credit for something here and there, but like when it goes down, like you're going to get all that too. So like power itself it's a heavy weight. So I think people want the illusion of what they think power gives them, but the actual power itself, they don't want that.
And then, so even if you think about like maybe the first person who tried to exert power over you, a lot of times was an older sibling or aunt or uncle or something like that. So I think about a lot of, like, I had, you know, my dad was the oldest of 8 kids. The youngest one was like only like 8 years older than me. So we kind of grew up to some degree with my dad's younger siblings because they were almost closer to our age than they were to my father. And you will see a lot of, you know, in a lot of instances, they would try to assert dominance over you because they were the babies of the family and they were probably the ones getting pushed around when they, you know, so all they doing is repeating the same behavior or trying to gain some sense of power because up until this point, they felt like they had none.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think there's other reasons why people lust after power other than like that?
Love. I think almost everything in this world revolves around love. And if not love, then a false sense of it.
Thinking I'll be loved if I have power.
Right. Or I'll be respected. And some people can kind of intertwine respect with love. Even though it's not, but it can give you the same feeling of self-worth.
That's true.
So a lot of it is
just like anger oftentimes is a sign of fear.
Hurt.
It don't look like it, but it's one of those things. Before we almost done. Can we think of at least one or two more? If one or two, what are so we talked about, of course,
attention,
sex, food, lust for attention. And again, see, that's one of the umbrellas of love to me.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it is. People do have a lust for it. Oh my God, and these are the most annoying people ever.
Or significance. Sometimes it's not love. You want to feel significant.
Validate. Yeah.
I still think that falls under the umbrella. But yeah, it may not be to the point of what they call love, but I think a lot of things fall under the umbrella. You need to mean something to somebody. Or to, you know, do I have a space? Do I even belong here on this earth? Significance. That's still, I look at that as an umbrella of the love. But
money?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Again, now this ain't everybody. I always looked at money, not in 100%, but overwhelmingly, money still falls under the umbrella of love. Money.
Break this down.
And
power. I don't know about love.
And again, power falls under that. And this
break that down, Q.
This is a little bit different for men than it is women.
Okay.
You have your beauty and your looks. Men, the large majority of us, our beauty comes from our wealth and our possessions, or not our beauty, but our level of attraction. Jay-Z said in the line, he said, I'm cute, I'm a billionaire, I'm always cute. Like it's one of those things because money will buy you attention. It will also buy you respect. It will make your words mean more. Let somebody come in, you find out they're worth 10 million. All of a sudden, everything that they say, just people clinging on to their words, and they coming up with these dumb statements and memes, and it must be true. Just because he's rich and he said some weird quote from there, that don't make it profound or wise. But you take
Yeah.
a person with money and you take more power, more weight in their words than you would somebody who's standing on the corner. And the person on the corner can be giving you more wisdom than the millionaire, but we don't see it like that.
Because have you ever
So
talked to a
it gives
homeless
you
person?
money,
Why?
gives you all of those things. It gives you a spotlight. It gives you so many things. And again, is it love? No, but it flashes a lot of the same similarities as far as the attention that you receive from it.
Ooh, I got one. With that being said, freedom. The lust for freedom, because like we want money because we want freedom. We want power because we want freedom. Like a lot of this is just like I just want the freedom to X, Y,
That's
Z.
me.
Whether
That's me. That is
you
me.
know, whether
Absolutely.
that be because I have the money to pay for it or because I have the influence or whatever. Like I just want the freedom to do what I want to do.
I agree. We was having this conversation. I don't remember who else having this conversation with, but we were talking about you. If I had the choice, somebody can give me $1 billion and I'm known all around the world, or somebody gave me 100 million and nobody knew it, I'd take the 100 million.
Me too.
Because I don't want that type of attention. Right. I don't want that type of limelight. I don't want none of that. I'm good. I'm well off. I'm comfortable. I have the freedom to do what I want, and ain't nobody got to know it. Now I don't have to worry about people treating me fake and wondering who's real and who's all of this. I will take 1/10 of what you are going to give me, and I'll be just fine with it.
Right. Be good. Yeah.
Well, I will say the lust for freedom and money is not all consuming for most people. Because most of us don't got
it. Right.
You don't have
for
I said it's not all consuming.
Effect,
I didn't say we didn't lust for it. I said it's not all consuming.
Or it can be, and that's why bad decisions are made to where you can't get it.
I'm saying you sit around and you think about it, and then when you get tired of thinking about it, you go eat or you go have sex. Fall back on your real life.
Let me fall back on some of these little
let's keep it a whole buck.
So Ivory, the people who I think it is all consuming for is those who don't or haven't learned to appreciate their daily lives because of what they desire.
Yeah.
And if you desire something to the point and you can't desire you can't appreciate or be happy with the relationships that you have, the space that you're in, the health that you have, all of these beautiful gifts that you have on a daily basis, but you're so focused on this wealth or this person that you want to have sex with or your need for attention. You daily blessings all around you, but you're only looking at what you don't have. That's one of those dangers of lust.
Ooh.
Because typically,
go ahead.
So that's just somebody who doesn't have an attitude of gratitude at all anyways.
I would argue that's over half of I would say that's over 50%.
Damn. You think so?
Yes, I do.
Damn. You really think that over half of people just don't have a attitude of gratitude type of mentality?
I agree.
Yeah, I don't.
Depressing shit.
It might be more than I think. It might be more than that. I think that
I'm being
generous.
On the soft side.
He's being generous.
Please.
I agree. Because when you really break down lust, it is like a byproduct of just not being appreciative of what's right there right now. That is so true.
Well, yes and no, because lust can also be wanting what you want, right? That doesn't mean that I'm not necessarily appreciative of what I have, but I want that motherfucker right there. That's the one I want. That's the
right. But it's okay to want something. You can want something without lusting for it to be excessive or consuming. Some of those words that was in the definition.
Right.
There's a lot of things I want, but it's not going to consume my mind and my thoughts and my actions and emotions and everything about me has changed because I have this unquenching desire to have something that I don't have.
Right.
Yeah, I want it, and I'll take certain steps to, maybe baby steps to get toward it. If it happens, then great. If it doesn't, I'm thankful and happy for where I'm at right now.
Right.
Let me ask one quick question before we get out of here. Do you have any lusts that you've been successfully able to consistently keep at bay? So I do have a lust, but I've conditioned or taught myself not to touch it, not to indulge in it, not to allow it to consume me.
So much of a not allow it to consume, right? But like as a single person, right? As a single woman, when if you don't have a steady person that you're intimate with, or you're not dating somebody, or you don't have friends with benefits, or whatever the fuck people want to call it today, right? Like if you're not actively, intimate with people, it's not like you just don't want it anymore, right? It's not like you don't desire. It's not like you don't have lust for it. It's not like you don't want touch. It's not like you don't want something from another human, right? But I think that the more that you sit with that, the more you learn lessons in that you never ever would have learned if you didn't sit with it, right? So oftentimes we don't challenge ourselves. We give in because maybe we do have the partner, or maybe we, do have access to the restaurant, or we do have access to, whatever our thing is, right? It doesn't always have to be a sexual relationship, but whatever that thing is, we have access to it. So, we're just going to have a little bit of it, right? It's the mentality of controlling, right? I'm just going to have one drink. I'm just going to have, 2 drinks. I'm just going to, call my ex this one time, or I'm just going to do this one time, But when you literally sit with that and you tell yourself no, or you don't allow yourself permission to, or you say, no, we're going to work through this because at the end of the day, this is actually not good for me, or this is not a positive outcome for me, or this doesn't get me where I'm trying to go. When you get over rejection, and you've welcomed that rejection is literally redirection, being able to sit through lust and experience lust and know what it is and know what you want and know how you want it and know how you want to get it, but you don't, and you're not scratching your skin off, and you're not feeling any type of way about yourself, you're not any less valuable, you're not any less desirable. There's a power in that most people are not even aware of, because we generally cave so fucking easily because we want what we want when we want it. And when those things are not tangible, when those things are not able to be had by you real easily, or you choose not to because you're trying to test yourself, there's a very interesting conversation that you have with yourself. And sometimes you can't put that back, and you can't undo what you now know, and it becomes a test to you moving forward with a lot of areas where you may fall to lust or to desire or to weak spaces that you don't allow yourself anymore.
Now I'm with you on that. As like this, like the concept as is above, so is below. It's like when you start kind of like arresting these negative parts of yourself, whether it be lust or whatever, in your life, you will see how you will start to shut that down in other areas of your life. Like I say, the sugar thing. Like when I had to get real strict and I was like, yeah, we ain't doing no sugar, I could see how focused I was. I could see how like regularly I would be running and going to the gym when I'm not doing that, because I have decided not to give into my wants and desires. Like I've decided not to give into the things that are not healthy for me. So that could be everything from like telling myself I'm not going to allow myself to not go to the gym.
Right.
Like the giving into I don't have to do it right now, or I could just wait, and then you just keep putting stuff off, and that's been like a big thing that I would do. So it's like me getting control, like down to like trying to make myself go to sleep early. That is one thing that I have not have under control yet. But like I'm working on it. But so I would say, yeah, the sugar thing I'm off and on with. Sometimes I'm doing really, really, really good. And then sometimes I feel like an addict. I fall right on back. And I have to like, all right, you got to stop it. All right, time to get it under control again. So that's something that I'm like constantly battling with. What else? I think I'm constantly battling with the lust for I think lust for attention too, which is I think part of why I probably do take my social media breaks, because I'm like I want to make sure I'm not getting caught up in the I need likes, I need comments, I need shares. I have to like, if I do post, I'm gonna post and I'm gonna go, because there's that dopamine that you get from checking. Somebody saying something yet? Somebody this yet? Like that dopamine from social media. So just like me, I just regularly take those breaks to make sure that I'm not caught up in that. That's one thing. Is there anything else? That's all I could think of. Well, sometimes spending money. I've been getting a hold on that, because I've noticed about myself, like sometimes you get paid and you're just like, what can I buy? And it's like you don't need this random knickknack thing that you're never going to use on anything that costs $10. Like you don't like, maybe I'll get like, no, I should
There's a
just go
certain
on Amazon.
satisfaction that comes, like almost a dopamine. Just say I can do it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like learning, just like I don't need to spend money. I can just go home. Just get your groceries and go home.
That part.
Right now, Denise,
We
I'm
put
on
at
a complete hiatus of spending money for pleasure.
Mm.
It gets dangerous. That gets
Yeah.
dangerous.
Because you get this little high as soon as you get something, that feeling. Oh, the haul came in. Oh, I went to got this, and it's a feeling, and then it's gone, and
Yeah.
look up and you like, what did I spend all my money on? So
Right.
I've been on like maybe like 4 months now, just like not buying anything that's not necessary to live,
Oh, that's good.
trying to like get my centers back together. Like I'm like, they're out of control, and then there's so many things on your phone or just in life that's constantly trying to,
especially nowadays with technology, they got so much interesting stuff. Like, oh, I want that.
it's so interesting. Every app you own, it's just pushing, and it knows you, right? So it's pushing the most interesting things to you.
Consumption.
Driving lust, literally creating lust.
And then you look at your accounts and you be like,
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
so the last few months is like I will look, I will browse, I even put stuff in carts, but I'm just not allowed to press.
That's really good. Because how often do you go back and look and go, I ain't want that?
All the
I do
time.
that often. Often.
But I never used to even give myself time to say I didn't want it,
But
Right.
that's a rule I gave myself a long time ago. I will rarely ever see something and buy it right then. Especially if it comes to clothes or if it comes to anything that I want, I'll look at, oh yeah, I want that. And I'll leave or I'll go away. And I come back. If I still want it the same way tomorrow as I did the day before, then I'll go back and get it. 90% of the time, I'll go back like, I don't need it.
Right.
And if I didn't, that mean I didn't need it.
No, it's so bad because me and my husband he wants to look at something for weeks before he buys stuff. So I used to have to ask him, are we buying something today? If the answer is no, I don't want to go. That's not fun.
Right. Just looking at it, read the specs.
She said, I'm good. I'm not window
Okay.
shopping. Fine.
Anything you
Q.
used to lust after that you're now turned off by?
Oh my God, yes.
Sure.
Ah,
And what's his last
my-
name? No,
to protect the guilty, I won't reveal that.
Right.
okay,
But
so we got it. Yeah.
1,000 percentile, okay? Because there was somebody hit me up and they finally said everything I've been wanting them to say for over a decade. And I'm just like, I'm not responding to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to respond. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be tormented with the thought of like, okay, so I don't understand why this never worked out between me and them. Oh, and I would like every so often like try to see what's up, and then we'd start back, and then it would just go to hell where it belonged. And it used to be so frustrating. I used to dream about this person and then wake up the next morning and just be like, I just don't get it.
So was this something you
Okay.
keeping at bay, or is this like now you see them and there's just nothing there?
I just realized, I don't know. I don't know if I'm keeping it at bay, but I just finally got to the point where I was like, this is stupid. This is
So that's
this
a little different though. I'm talking about something that like no, it's just there's like literally
I
nothing
had to
there.
keep it at bay before we got here. I had to bay it. It had to be put into the bay. It'd be kept at the bay before we could get here. But if you don't keep it
That's
at
exactly
bay,
the same. That's similar.
yeah, because think about it like this. Think about it like this, Q. The whole concept of overstimulation, right? And the like, okay, I gotta stop using this bullet because like if I don't stop using this bullet, like I'm never gonna get my stimulation back. Like if I don't keep this person at bay, I'm never gonna be able to move on. I'm
Right.
never gonna be able to be happy in my relationships. I'm always gonna be wondering what if. So I gotta keep you at bay. And after keeping them at bay for some time and doing some healing, because if they ain't being kept at bay and they able to come to shore and get on land, like you never get to the space where you can process that you need to be done here, and this isn't healthy for you, and it isn't good for you, and this is not a rom-com. You and this person are not good together. It's never going to be. If you're watching this right now, I know this is hard to hear for anybody at home who's going through this. I'm telling you, keep them at bay. If you keep them at bay for long enough, you might double back. You're going to double back. I double back. I'm queen double back. But what I'm telling you is if you keep them at bay for long enough and you let yourself accept everything about it without feeling like crap about it, and maybe you do feel like crap about it, but don't judge yourself for the time that you spent there. Don't judge yourself for still having feelings. Don't judge yourself for any of that. Just understand it's not for you, and it's time to move forward and leave them where they are. They're going to double back. And when they do, you won't care. But you gotta keep them at bay first. Otherwise, when they double back, you're gonna be ready to go.
Those are good. You can mentally stall yourself out. I don't know if that was exactly what I was talking about, but that is something that you can mentally will yourself out of lust. That is because your mind is a powerful tool, and if you train your mind properly, then you can train your body to follow. So one of the things, and this is more specific. So one of the last questions I was gonna have, and somebody can answer or not if they want to, but I'm gonna respond to your statement with or my last question with my current question. So one of the things I was gonna ask, is there any type of celebrity or public figure that you would admit that you lust after or lusted after? Now, I was gonna say my primary example to both questions, Serena Williams. That's somebody I lusted after, and now I'm like, nah.
Because something's changed with them or something's changed with you?
No, I changed with them.
I mean,
I'm
is
so
it
upset,
really?
like-
Is it really?
It almost bring a tear to my eye.
Tell us, elaborate.
Well, I will say, if somebody asked me who would you, outside of my wife, and I really do mean that because I think my wife fine things, but like who would you put as the poster child celebrity of beauty head to toe? I would have said Serena Williams. That is my definition, head to toe. And everybody know that. And I think it's sad when a person doesn't see their own beauty to the point to where they're doing everything to change what many people, what people would give to have those attributes, and you just don't see the beauty in it. It's sad. It's really sad to me. It's and now I looking like, nope, nothing there. There's zero.
That's an interesting dynamic in a relationship situation where, like Denise's example, it needs to be over, right? Like you're grateful for the moment where you're like, I don't even fucking like you anymore. I don't lust after you no more. You don't turn me on. I don't want you. The thought of you makes me feel kind of gross. Like that's a beautiful transition when it was a person, right, that you used to fucking lust over and you couldn't shake them, and you knew that you had no business running behind them, but you still fucking doing it because for whatever reason they got something that you like, whatever addiction that you done sunk their fucking hooks into. It is what it is, and there is nothing more amazing than the moment where it hits you that you're like, that shit ain't even there no more. That power that you had is gone. That light that you had don't exist no more. That shine that you shone don't shine no more. It's an interesting thing because then you look at that lust like, oh, that shit was gross. And then
is that serious?
Girl, and then, but so then in that though, you really, for me, you look at that and you have to apply that to every person moving forward, because just how quickly you fell out with this one, you're gonna fall out with another and another, and if you don't hone what you need to hone and perfect your craft, perfect your energy, your lust, your desire, your passion, what you like, what you don't like. You have to be very conscientious and very cautious with those things. So it's amazing when you do lose it for something or someone that should have been gone to begin with.
Nick, I was gonna say, I tell people this now. If you let lust, like just a strong desire to have something, and there's no verifiable proof you should have it, like you don't have a basis to say this is something that I can responsibly have and cherish. I just want it, and they just want. I said it's like sending a ship out to sea without an anchor or a compass.
Yeah.
And like you'll watch it go off, and then when you want to reel it back, there is no.
Yep.
It's gonna float on its own, and it'll come back whenever the universe brings it back, because you're gonna be out there looking crazy. You don't get to, once you let it sail away, you do not normally get to choose when you get about that thing. I mean, your feelings. You don't get to choose when your feelings get untangled. It can take years.
Facts.
So the lesson, to Nikki's point, is you don't let them boats leave the dock.
That part. You don't
let them boats leave the dock. You see that boat, you say, well, wait a minute now.
But I think lust is designed to be temporary. It's gonna leave the dock regardless at some point in time.
No, but
it ain't got to. It ain't got to.
The only thing that don't leave is an addiction. And when you talk about food and other things like that, but if you just lust something,
no, I'm saying we're talking about once you put that lust into action.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying seeing the boat is the lust. I see the boat. I want the boat. But I see that this boat ain't got no compass.
But so the thing is, in most
I'm
cases, the lust usually
I'm
ain't,
not sending this boat out without a compass.
but the lust usually is not about that boat. I'm just a pirate. I like stealing boats.
I'm saying, and
that's gonna be
that's what you learn after you let
Right.
it not be about the boat. You learn not to do that again.
Well, and to your point, that is that is why it is important to control lust and keep it under wraps, because if you don't, then all you'll do is trade in one for another. And
Facts.
It might, it might be Susie one day, but then it's gonna be Jenny the next day. It's gonna be such and such the next day. Because I mean, it's just the lust itself is what's out of control.
Well, you got to be realistic. Some people are just lustful people because that's the only emotion that they can get their hands on that feels comfortable, right? They're not comfortable with accountability, emotional accountability. They're not comfortable with, pain that I may have inflicted or disappointment that I may have inflicted, or, they're not comfortable with those things. But lust is one of those things where I can easily detach my responsibility to it if I let myself, right?
Because with lust, you really don't have responsibility to anybody except for yourself.
And listen, I want to be honest, as an artsy person too, sometimes it's about being different too. Like I think when you are a little bit more artistic, you already have a thing about responsibility.
Right.
You already, like, the way your mind works is kind of, it needs to be free to kind of move on to the next idea and the next thing. And you have to kind of hone that you don't do that with people. Just because that's how your mind works.
Period. Yeah, them artsy people they something else. That's a whole different breed of person.
It does. It takes a little more work.
That's a different breed.
So
that was an artsy person. He was
art poetry slam or something. Oh my goodness! It's
real.
Emotional roller coaster.
It is,
and it's like it's almost like they speak a different language.
Justify anything, right? That part, but
can I say this too? I feel like situationships are just long time lust. It's like it was like something that started in lust that you just keep it in that lust station. Okay. You're not letting it leave and go into the love station. You keeping it in the lust station.
Yeah, I agree.
So no. I don't think I agree. Let me respond to you by asking this question. Do you look at lust and infatuation as interchangeable, or are they different? See, because what you just said, I think can fall under the category of infatuation, but I don't necessarily put that in the category of lust.
I think it's interchangeable.
Not infatuation to me. Infatuation don't even look like a situationship.
That's true. Well, a one-sided one.
Oh, one-sided.
And typically situationships are one-sided. One person has stayed in the lust station, the other one's trying to go to the love station, and the other one won't follow, and they just sitting there.
So again, what is infatuation? If infatuation is not love, is it what is infatuation?
It's bastardized love.
Is it a cousin of lust? Like, I'm trying, where do we fall with infatuation?
I think they're very similar. I think they have a lot of similar traits, infatuation and lust.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I think infatuation leans closer to love than it does lust. Or if it's not, maybe it's
on
a person.
You say
I think
what?
Infatuation and lust are void of love, and that's why infatuation and lust are not love.
Okay, so let me say it like I would argue most people who are under the spell of infatuation, they think they're in love. They really do think they're in love.
I agree. They do.
That's what infatuation.
So my question is, I don't know this. The question I'm asking y'all: do. So even if it's a physical love, so let me say it like this. I know I could lust after a whole lot of people. I know it ain't no love nowhere close to it.
Right. Right.
I think you can lust after someone and be clear that it ain't got nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
So again, that's why I say I think infatuation, even if it's in the middle, it can lean closer to the side of love than it would lust.
The reason why I disagree, because infatuation means you don't know them.
Exactly. It's
You can't be in love. You cannot be infatuated with somebody you know. Trust me, you cannot be infatuated with somebody
you can.
know.
You
With someone,
can.
no. Oh, no. Someone that you really, truly know, not of, not fond of, not spend a little time with, that you know.
But no, it comes in levels. So
right,
I can know somebody for 20 years. I can know somebody for 5 years. I can know somebody for 6 months and feel like I know them based upon the amount of time we spent. And sometimes has there ever, okay, let me say it like this. Has there ever been someone, and this don't even have to be romantic, but someone that you've known for a short time and you felt like what we got is the real thing, whether it's romantic or friendship, and you may find out that it is actually we hit it off right off the bat and we've been rocking ever since. It was what I thought it was, even when we hadn't been together long enough for me to know if it really was.
I think
that's where infatuation lies, because you may have not been together long enough to know, but you've been together long enough to feel those emotions like it is.
I think infatuation is for people who do not know each other. When you've seen someone's ugly, they're in between, they're bad, they're beautiful, they're all that. When you've actually seen someone, not surface level, like, oh, they fine. I kind of like how they be talking about stuff. Like, I kind of like their viewpoints on a few things, versus like, see them when they ain't got no money. Like you tell me, see them when they're going through some grief. When you see them in that, you can't be infatuated with them no more, because you're seeing the real person. Infatuation is an idea of, when you know someone, you know them. They're no longer an idea. They are exactly who they are. And that only comes when you've taken the time to see them. But if you haven't taken the time to see them and you've been around them for a significant amount of time and you have not really taken the time to really see them, then that's lust.
Have you heard people say, and even maybe including yourself say, I thought I loved them, and come to find out it wasn't what I thought it was? You can feel and think that you're really in love with someone and then find out later that I had feelings for them, but it wasn't love. And so let me say, even if you go back to the 1 Corinthians 12 or 13th principle, the main thing about love is that it never dies. It lasts forever. And so really the only way that you know that you love somebody is that, do you still love them?
Anybody
5,
ever
10, 15,
said I
20,
love
30 years from now, if you said you love somebody and you no longer love them, biblically, whether you subscribe to that or not, you actually didn't love them.
Anybody have ever said I love, I still love. Even the one I'm talking about, I ain't even trying to hear from. It don't matter.
Exactly.
Once I love you, I love you. I might hate that I love you.
Right.
I may not want to be around you. I may not be in conversation with you. But if I've said that I love you, I actually love you.
So have you ever had anybody that you thought you loved and you found out that not exactly?
No. Now, I have loved someone and found out, oh, they're not who they were saying they were. That's a whole nother thing. Now, whoever I knew you to be, and I love that person who you showed me, versus you.
But that wasn't an actual person.
I loved what I saw. If I found out what I saw was a lie, I'm not gonna then say I didn't love them. I did. I maybe I loved the lie they told, but I loved them. No, it doesn't. Because Q,
Yes, it
if
does,
I
yeah.
if Q because
I
Q
thought I knew
because
this person
Q,
and I found out I didn't know him.
but that doesn't mean that you were infatuated. That means you were manipulated, and that's very different.
Okay.
You
No,
making
I
up a
think
storyline.
infatuation can
You
have
making it.
manipulation in it too.
No, if you made up a storyline in your head about somebody, you are infatuated. But if whatever they are revealing to you is what you grew to love, then that's who you love. Now, if they were lying about that, that's what they was lying about. But you were in love. They may have sold a dream,
Oh man, there's so
but
many
they
layers to
sold
this.
a dream. They sold a. See, we might have to do one on
But
infatuation
maybe they
versus
didn't
love
sell a
versus
dream.
like versus. Yeah, they
I think
did.
we might need to.
We
We did
got to
that
do one
already.
on this. Do
I
we?
think we
I
need
don't
to
think
do that
so.
again.
We
I
need to do
don't
one
think
on
so. We need to
infatuation
do
versus
that
love
because one of those things. How many
versus
times do
like
people? Hold on, do
versus
you?
love.
Dang. Okay. I don't know when we're gonna get in this, but just to touch on it, because all of it ain't got to be on them manipulated. Sometimes you manipulate your own mind, and you want
That's
something to be
infatuation.
something so bad. And not only that, you also some people are not mature enough to even really know what love and understand what love is and looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you can feel like you love somebody based upon your current capacity, and if you gain more capacity, then you realize, oh yeah, no, what I thought was love or what I used to equate as love is not love at all.
I
And you
get it.
hear
I don't
people
agree
in
with that.
abusive relationships as well. I thought I was in love, and then your capacity grows like, yeah, no, that wasn't love at all. Ain't nobody, putting their hands on me.
Somebody
I
who
disagree.
just bald face lied to. I agree with Denise.
Okay, what are you saying again?
As somebody who's just been straight looked in their eyes and just told bald face lies, I agree with Denise.
Yeah, we had to have a conversation about that. Because the manipulation goes two ways. You can deceive, you can be manipulated by others and also deceive yourself. And sometimes both of those things can be happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
that's
that don't
what you
change the
would
fact
call
that you really feel,
infatuation.
you wholeheartedly feel that you're in love, though. You only call it infatuation after it don't work. But at the time
no, that's
that you
not
were
true.
together, what's that?
That's not true. You don't think that when you first start dating somebody, like
How many people be like, oh, I'm in infatuation with this person, right? Nobody uses that term.
people yes they do. Oh, I'm infatuated with them. No, I first started dating somebody, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so infatuated with this dude. Yes, 1000% will say that because I know I am. Like I know I'm infatuated. I know because they ain't showed me they shit yet, and I know they haven't showed it to me yet, and that's why I'm infatuated. As soon as I see it, I'm gonna be like, that's how I'm gonna know if I like them or not. Because when I see your shit, that's what I'm gonna know.
Your own. I do agree with that in part, but you still cross your own statement when you say you get to know a person and then you find out, but you don't. Up until that time, you don't know until it actually happens. So you can still feel like you in love with somebody, and then you're like, yeah, well, no, it wasn't love, it was infatuation. So sometimes you may know up front, sometimes you don't.
No, I think you know up front when you're infatuated. Infatuation is a little past like. Infatuation is a little past like is when you really just thinking about them all.
All right, we're about to get out of here in a second. But you know what? This will be my argument to you.
Okay.
Most people, and see, this go back to that high school puppy love.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue most people, in your case, you would be able to say, oh, I'm so infatuated with this person. By the time you said that, you've already experienced what love is. So you know the difference. If you have not yet experienced real love, then it would be much harder for you to decipher between those two, because the emotions of it is going to feel the same. Now, if I've actually been in love with somebody and I know what that feels like, then I can be like, oh yeah, I'm infatuated with them, because I know the difference. Had I never been in love, then that infatuation would feel identical to what I would suppose love is.
I ain't never loved none of them people.
I think I did. I think I loved them. You know what it is?
Hold on.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Ooh, wait. See, now this
never
is
loved none of them people.
this is grown, married, hindsight 2020. I was talking about. Yeah, now you know you didn't.
I know I didn't. Now I know.
Now you know.
Yeah, now I know. I ain't never loved them people.
Now you know, but at the time, that wasn't what you would have been preaching.
I know. I'm saying
So
now.
okay, so I'm saying make it
It
clear
was
for
never
Denise.
love.
Make it clear for Denise. So when we that what you saying is what I was saying.
I still don't agree.
It was infatuation that morphed into maybe lust, but it was never love.
Well, what
I
allowed you to be
believe
able to know the difference? You actually experienced love, so now you was able to.
Right. So that
when you experienced love, it became more clear to you what wasn't.
It
That was my point. That's my point.
I don't agree. I think that to your point, Q, your capacity to love grows, but you cannot discount what your capacity for love was in the past. If that's what your capacity, if your capacity for love was that, like when I think about the first dude I fell in love with, oh my God, I love him so much. Is that the love I feel today for a man I'm with today? Absolutely not. Is any of
you still
it
love him,
anywhere
you still love him.
near? Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I won't. I'm not gonna act like I don't know. We just not together.
I do not.
I'm not in love with you.
But what you talking about ain't what Ivory was talking about. Ivory, like I realize now.
I don't care
it
how
was
many
not
people
love.
I said I loved. I didn't love not a one.
I love them. I did.
I had
I wish
a
them well
very
in their journey.
strong desire to have them, but I did not love them. I was not trying to change. I wasn't trying to be better. None of the things love are is what I was in that. And none of the things love was what they were. Not the real things love are. Yeah, all of the feelings, the butterflies, all of that was there. And I think we taught to call that love, but like the things that love really is, commitment and sacrifice and all of that, like those things weren't present. That wasn't love.
Okay, now when you break it down like that,
This wasn't.
when you break it down like that, when you break it down like love is action.
Oh yeah.
What I love back then. And we break it down from an action standpoint. But
Okay.
I will say, with time and maturity, your capacity to love increases. And the more you love, the more your capacity to love increases. I even believe you getting your heart broken and getting back in the game increases your capacity to love.
One part is capacity, but the other part that increases your capacity is your knowledge and understanding of what love is.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you get that knowledge and understanding without dating? Like, do you believe? Oh, I got a deep one. Oh, I got a question, and then I'm gonna stop. Do y'all believe that all the relationships you were in, maybe not all, but some of the more important relationships, even though we know the only important one is the one y'all in now, but
no, it ain't. It is not.
Do you believe those relationships are what built the capacity that you're able to love in the manner that you love in today? So how is that not love? If someone teaches you how to love, whether it be good or bad,
it ain't got to be love, but it helped it helped me where I am today. Had I not gone through those relationships, I am absolutely certain I would have jacked this one up. Without question, I would have messed this up.
You're not going to give them any love credit at all. Zero love credit.
The question that you asked, though. The question that you asked was,
those are we. I get the question, right? But
Mhm.
then it's like, it's also like those people gave me insecurities. Those people they gave me a bunch of other stuff that didn't help. I can't say
What
I
if
was better or worse. I don't know.
what if they didn't give you insecurities? What if they revealed your insecurities?
No, they
See,
didn't. They
for
gave me some.
me, they revealed my insecurities and
Mine was
they
revealed.
revealed some of my selfishness, my stubborn. They revealed a lot of stuff. Now Ivory's different to me. Ivory said she wasn't never in love. I was, absolutely. I'm a lover. I've been in love many a time. Ivory says she ain't never been, but I've
I
been
thought
in love
it
many
was
times.
that was not love.
Yeah. So for her, it wasn't. For me, it was. I've been in love many times.
And I'm not one of them
Might have
cut
been
off
terrible.
people. Like I'm one of those people stay friends with all my ex. Like I really believe
They
that
got cut off.
we had, at least something good enough to remain in each other's lives. And I believed in all of them positive love vibes and everything. But man, when I got a few years into my marriage, I'm like, I did not love those people.
Oof.
That one love.
When you had to really go through some things and still be loving somebody.
Mhm.
You know you
No, I
couldn't
mean,
went
but
through
that
that
could be
with them.
romantic.
You should have.
That could just be romantically. There are people who I realized I did love them, but I didn't love them the way that I needed to in order to sustain a lifelong relationship. Those are two different things. You can actually still love someone, but not love someone in that type of way. Those are it's still they're both loves, but it's two different things.
Well, I think we would have to
That-
haggle over our definition of the word love. Is probably what we probably are actually haggling over right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you just focus on romantic love. No, I'm just talking.
No, I'm focused on commitment, sacrifice.
But Ivory, so
The
even
other things
on a
that
biblical definition, Ivory, the other person's response to you has nothing to do with love.
I'm talking about my own response. That's why I said I didn't
Right.
love those.
Okay. So yeah, you just didn't love
I'm not
them.
talking
Okay.
about them. Long
Right.
suffering, sacrifice, commitment, all of the things. I didn't have those things.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't have the long
Okay.
suffering
that's
in
the
me for
difference.
most
I
of
did.
nobody.
I had a lot of those
Oh
things.
yeah, well, then yeah, we different. Like I didn't have it.
But I'm not finna be doing no
Ivory was
long
like,
suffering. I'm done. Cut the show.
Ivory was
I'm
like, I
done.
did not love it.
Oh my
Hoping
God.
the
Oh
best, wishing the best, always seeking the best, not competing, not holding no record of wrongs. I was not loving them people.
Seeketh not its own. I think that's the biggest one.
It was not love. It was not love.
That's good. Okay, y'all. Okay, one more thing before we go. Has everybody still been doing their homework?
You sound like
Have y'all been doing your homework?
Oh, I have not done my homework.
Do your homework. Do your homework. Get out your comfort zone. Y'all know y'all got to be out there. So listen, y'all, I went busking in the subway. I was so scared. For those who don't know who are at home, what busking means, that means you go sing in the subway, y'all.
Really?
When I tell you,
oh, that's dope.
I was more scared to do that than go into an actual venue. I was like,
That's dope.
I was like talking myself up, y'all. I was so scared the whole night before. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. The whole time before, I'm like listening to music, trying to pump myself up, and I'm shaking. I've set myself up, and I'm like, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I felt more valued in the subway than any of these venues that I have been to.
Wow.
The subway. I'm saying
dope.
all of that to say this, that sometimes me, let me just keep it on myself, I attach value and like, oh, I need to be in this system. of being in the venues with the lights and the sound person and the background, this and that, and the da-da-da-da-da, because that's how I'm going to build a fan base and make money and woo-hoo. So I got to get into this system and be a part of this system. And what I realized is me deciding to take matters into my own hands, because I'm like, I'm not trying to be paying for a ticket to get inside the open mic. Then if it's a 2-drink minimum, like we have $40-ish. Then if the subways are running late and I'm trying to get home because I got to go to work the next day, which I ain't got no job right now, that could be like $30. So we had like $70. Then if I got hungry because I didn't cook before I left because I had to come home and hurry up and rush it, we could be anywhere from like $70, $50, $80 just to go sing, and I've made zero money. And then I've messed up my sleeping pattern. Versus I could go to the subway, pay my little $3 to get in the subway, and go at any point in time when I want, and people will give me their money, and I've paid $0 except for the fee to get inside the subway, and then I go home, and guess what? I don't have to pay again because I never left the subway, so I just leave and get on the other train and go on home. And it just made me realize, I'm like, people were stopping, like they didn't have something to do to give me money, or just stop to watch. They could be missing their train and have to wait for the next one, or stop to tell me something, talk to me, give me money, as opposed to going to these open mics where people kind of half-ass listening. It's just other musicians trying to get their stuff off, and there's no real connection. Not to say that there aren't, but I realized me taking myself out of the system and creating what I needed to create for me was just such a game changer. So I want to encourage everybody out there. You might be doing something. You may have been doing it that way for a long time. You may think this is the path that you should go, but try something new. Try something else. Ask yourself, is there another way I can do this same thing, and try it? You never know what's going to happen. So are we sticking to telling people our stuff for the month of March, or are we moving on to a different project? What's Freethinkers' homework for March? What are we doing? Is this the do month? Is this the month of do, or is this the month of still talking about it? Where are we at?
No, we're in the doing month. We're well beyond talking. We're in the doing.
We're in the do. So this is the month of do. So that means every week we got to do something.
Well, no, I like the once a month project, right? Where we work on it all month long. It gives us the whole month to, put our stuff out there and make moves. And I like the once a month thing. But along the aspect of in do mode, we're in
do mode.
Yes, we are in do mode. We are beyond talking mode. We're in do mode, baby.
So March is the month that we do. Every week we need to be doing something towards whatever. It could be anything. Yep. But we need to be doing and less talking and more doing. March is do month.
Do month.
I'm with
Do month.
Do month. Do month.
This week, I will have us figured out where we're going to have an official actual podcast space at, whether it's Spotify or I don't fucking know, but that's due month. So this month you're going to officially be put on podcast listings. We're not just going to have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page. Like, it's due month for sure.
Come on, due month. Okay. For sure. Cool. Okay.
Because I will tell you, and I told Q this, we did the radio station. Shout out to Edward and KZI. We did the radio station last week, and we did a little mini free thinkers on the radio. And afterwards, I told Q, I was like, we should have used the assignment as something to talk about on live, because it's been nonstop, Denise, ever since we started talking about this. The doors that have opened, the windows that have opened, the cracks in the hallway that have gotten larger. Like, it's been very interesting to see the momentum of this thing actually take a form of some sort, and there be some opportunities being presented. Like I fucking love this assignment will never leave my heart. Never. I love it. And I thank you for putting this in our life like that, because it's one thing to talk about it all the time, but like, no, we had a deadline and it was like, nah, you can't back out. You have to fucking do something. Like, we held each other accountable, even if it was loosely, we held each other accountable and we did it, and things are happening. So it is very much go. It is due month for sure.
Due month. Okay, cool. March is due month.
Yes.
Yeah, because April I'll have to do the Freethinkers New York, so I've been thinking about that. Because I know, like, remember my deadline for Freethinkers New York is April. I have to do the first in-person one. So I've been thinking about like, where am I going to do this at, and like trying to figure out that part and like map that out. So
okay.
So I'm thinking last Tuesday in April, because y'all will be doing it. So that'll be the perfect time for me to do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be dope.
Ooh.
That is so fun.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. But whatever, it's gonna be fun. But I need to start posting it on my Instagram page and stuff like that, little clips, which means we gotta start clipping this stuff up. We really actually have to start clipping stuff up. Like, we actually have to do it. So that's a big part of marketing. So we gotta figure out our system for that. But that's another call for another day.
Yeah.
But because it's due month.
I think we got it out.
I think we got it out.
We good.
It was good.
Good conversation. That was good.
Yes.
All right. Good night, y'all.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Great.